This is Sabrina Sumption, and we're talking marketing. This is the second video in the blogger series. The first video we covered just the basics of how to set up a blog and create your own little corner of the internet. And this video today, we're going to talk more about how your blog looks. Now, the look and the feel of your blog is going to reflect your author brand. If you have a publisher, if you have a good publisher, they're going to work with you on your brand. They're going to help you set up your website. They're going to help you come up with the images and the colors and the fonts that reflect you as a writer and reflect, more importantly, the content of your books. So, if you are an independent author, this is all on you. You get to decide how it looks and how it feels, but the pressure and the responsibility is yours to make sure that it meets your readers' expectations. What does your target audience want? This is the core of branding yourself. Now, branding is something that I discuss in writers groups across the nation. I've started doing webinars on it. So check out my website if you need help and if you don't quite understand what author branding is. Maybe I might be having a webinar soon that you can sign up for. I might be coming to your area, or just send me an email and we'll figure out a way to get me in your area to teach you and your fellow authors about branding. So for today, we're doing the blog, and we're going to do that by going over here to template. And right now, this is what our blog looks like. This is a little snapshot, and I have the blog open here. This is what is live on the internet at this moment. It's ugly and it's boring and I don't like it. So we're going to change it. Now, we're doing this for my mother's books. My mother writes paranormal romance, and this blog does not reflect paranormal romance. If you scroll down, you can see that there is simple, dynamic views, picture window, awesome ink, watermark, ethereal, and travel. These are all templates that are pre-made. They're all ready to go. You can just click on them, make it live. If you apply it to blog, you can come over here and look, ta-da, we have a new website. But it might not be what you want right here. So we're going to talk customization. So you're going to click on that button that said customize, and you will get this dark gray bar across the top, and you'll see a snapshot of your blog on the bottom. Right now we have the simple and then the red simple. You can click on all of these and see what the changes make. This is a lovely rain look to it here. And as you're clicking, be thinking, what is in my books? Do I write travel? Here's a nice background for travel books. It has a map in the background. This is a great book for whimsical outdoor books. This is the backdrop that I used when I helped an author who writes children's books, and she had a book about a little girl and a horse. And this was perfect for that outdoor feel to it. If you choose something like this, this is not the backdrop for true crime or gritty detective novels or noir or anything like that. So think about, what are your readers expecting? If you write about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, they're not going to be looking for bows and pearls and rose petals like a romance reader would be looking for. Your website, your blog, it needs to be you, but it also needs to reflect what's in your books. So as you're scrolling through, be thinking about, what is in my books, and does this reflect the content of my books? I'm going to use this blue ethereal as a starting point for my mother's blog. She has a wispy, cloudy, foggy type feel to her covers. So this is a good place to start. So I'm going to apply it to blog. And now if we go to our blog and we hit the refresh button again, we now see this lovely blue backdrop. So we have templates, which is where we've already been. And then there's this button called background. Let's talk about the main color theme first. You notice that we have a dark blue. This is what is active right now. If we go to red and click on red, you can see how the title changed to red, over here changed to red. We have a dark gray here. So if you want to just go with a main color theme that they suggest, there's 5 different colors and they'll use different gradients around, then go for it. These are some beautiful color combinations that they pick. I'm going to go ahead and make this aqua active by clicking apply to blog. So we're going to go from this dark blue to an aqua color. Her covers, a lot of them have aqua in them, so this will fit just that little bit better. For the background image, when you open up the page, it's default on abstract. So you have all of these abstract images that you can pick from, and if you click on them, you can see them live on your website. Here's one here. There's a different one. Now, just because I click on it does not make it live on the website. So I've got this crazy pixelated rainbow type thing going on here. And if I refresh, it is still the same aqua. So don't worry that by clicking around, you're going to have people visiting your website and being confused because the background keeps changing. It's not going to change. So if you go into the arts, you have some different options. Here's a nice, lots and lots of books. And here's, looks like blueprints possibly, ballerina slippers, some clay. Again, you're looking for images that reflect your book. This is kind of a fun backdrop right there. I think this would be great for anyone who writes something centered around the UK. Here's some rose petals. Here's a lovely one with hearts. So any romance writers out there, that would be a good option for you. Look at the Irish right here. Do you have an Irish theme to your books? Here is a wedding cake. Do you write romances that involve weddings? Oh, it's not going to let me scroll down. Here's some cute little chicks. There's food and drink for any of you cookbook authors watching this video. Some eggs, pretzels, jelly beans, yummy. Here's herbs and spices. So you have so many different options that are already available to you. You can get started really fast. Oh, here's a great one for any crafters out there who write crafting books. Or if you have cozy mysteries that involve crafting, there's a great backdrop right here waiting for you. Crosswords. Does your main character do a lot of crosswords in your series? So here's a great option for that. And I believe those are chess pieces. Do you have a fantasy look to your books? Here's a nice parchment that you can write on. So as you look through here, you are probably going to find something that you can get started with, but maybe you already have an image. Maybe you already have what would be perfect for backdrop for your books. Maybe it's an image already from your covers that's integrated in each of your covers. If you have that, you can upload an image. So you just click on upload image, choose file, and then navigate in your computer to where you store it. So I'm going to cancel out of there, and I'm going to go back to abstract. I'm going to click on this one. It's kind of a flowy look to it, and I think it works with a basic background for my mother. So we're going to click on done, and I'm going to apply that to the blog. And then we can go over here and we can see it live on the blog. Now, one thing you notice here, I didn't apply that turquoise color scheme to the blog. I forgot to do that. And so that's why the text here is still red. So I'm going to come to the main color theme and click on the aqua again. And I'm going to apply it to the blog. And now the text matches what I want for the background. Adjusting widths. You can change the width of your blog if you desire. Please don't go skinny. Just don't go down here. Don't go down there. Don't go there. So change your width wider if you need it wider. Or if you play around with it and you decide, you know what, I really like that original width, you can come down here and say reset widths to template default. And it will pop back down. Your right sidebar is this area of your screen right here. So if you want a bigger sidebar so that these are bigger, you can make it bigger. If you want a smaller sidebar so that these are teeny tiny, you can do that. Or again, after you play with it, you can reset it to the default of the template. The layout of your template is going to be how the items of your blog are put together. When you look at a blog, it's actually a bunch of little pieces all put together. Someone had a header image and they stuck it at the top. And they have the content, the article, and they stuck it in the middle. And then they have the covers for their books and they stuck it on the side next to the article. So when we're doing the layout, we're deciding, okay, where do I want all of my pieces to be? And what pieces do I want? So you could have a blog where you have the header and you have the posts and you have nothing on the side at all. Or you can do a header and your posts and there's a main sidebar, and then you can divide your sidebars into two smaller sidebars if you want. For a basic website that I want to say 90% of authors need, just have one sidebar. Now you can choose the right side and you can choose the left side. It depends on where you like your gadgets to be. Now I'm feeling the right sidebar for my mother's website. You have different options for your footer as well. You can do one long footer. You can break your footer up into two pieces. So you've got footer here and a footer here. You can have 3 footers. We're going to stick with 1 footer. That's just how I like it. So I'm going to apply that to the blog. Template applied. And now we can get into the advanced look. The advanced takes each little piece and you can customize it. So, for example, body text. Say we don't want this regular text. Right now it's set for Arial. We could make it impact. See how the font changed here and here? I'm going to click on a new one. So watch that font. Let's go calligraphy. If you notice how the text looks changed. My mother, she writes romance. It's a very feminine genre for the most part. And so a more curly and feminine type looking font definitely sets her brand as a romance writer. So we're going to go ahead and leave it on calligraphy, and I'm going to bold it so it's easier to read. I'm also going to make it bigger. Right now, large fonts is pretty vogue. Most websites that you go to that look pretty professional, unless you go into like news corporations and that sort of thing. But a lot of blogs have bigger fonts because it's easier to read. It's the look right now. So that's where I'm going with that. If I wanted to change the font color to purple, I could sure do that. And that's going to change here and here. But I'm going to keep them back in the regular font. You can change the background color if you want. I don't want to change it. I'm going to leave it. The blog title. Now notice when I clicked on the blog title, see this red line that popped up here? It's kind of outlining where you are editing at the moment. It's a nice visual clue. And there is another font in here that I'm going to find. It starts with a P. So I'm scrolling down. Pacifico, there it is. Again, my mother writes paranormal romance. She wants kind of a more feminine look to her website. And so that's why I'm changing to more feminine font. And, once it gets bolder, it gets a little fuzzier to read. I'm going to leave it without a bold look. Now you can go through here and you can click in all of these and play around with a lot of different things. In here, you can always clear any changes that you've made. Once you have your blog to where you're happy, you apply it. And then you can come over to your blog and look at it and say, all right, I think I like it. That's a good start. Of course, this isn't the final. You're not done yet, but this gets you another step closer to having a blog that reflects you, reflects your author brand, and reflects the books that you're writing. So thank you so much for joining me on video 2 of the blogger series. And the next blogger that we're going to go over, we're going to talk about header bars. So thank you so much.